Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage episode 16 secretly explains why a young Sheldon character never appeared in The Big Bang Theory. Young Sheldon Season 7 has been more than just a prequel. It's become a quiet, emotional bridge between The Big Bang Theory and its own heartfelt story of the Cooper family. But episode 16, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, manages to pull off something particularly clever. Beneath the laughter and the sentimental tone of Georgie and Mandy's big day lies a subtle but powerful explanation for one of the biggest absences in The Big Bang Theory: why a major young Sheldon character never appeared in its parent series. On the surface, the episode is about celebration. Georgie and Mandy finally make their relationship official, turning their rocky journey from accidental parenthood to true partnership into something lasting. Yet, when fans look deeper, they notice something else: the way young Sheldon quietly reveals the future without spelling it out. And in this case, episode 16's emotional themes and family dynamics might finally answer why Mandy MC Allister, a character beloved by young Sheldon viewers, never appeared or was even mentioned in The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory's silent gap. The missing MC Allister. Across 12 seasons of The Big Bang Theory, fans got glimpses of Sheldon's family through stories, memories, and the occasional visit. Mary Cooper became a fan favorite, while Georgie and Missy made their mark in later seasons. Even Sheldon's father, George Sr., despite being long dead by the time of TBBT, was a recurring topic. But one person was missing from every story: Georgie's wife, Mandy. By the time The Big Bang Theory begins, Georgie is a successful owner of a tire chain business, living in Texas and, according to Sheldon, doing quite well financially. But there's never any mention of who his wife is, whether he's still married, or if he has children. Is a glaring omission, especially considering that young Sheldon has devoted years of storytelling to Georgie and Mandy's relationship and their daughter, Cece. So why did The Big Bang Theory never even hint that Georgie had a family? Episode 16 of Young Sheldon may have finally revealed the quiet answer. The tone of the episode hides a tragic future. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage is framed as a comedic, slightly chaotic wedding episode, fitting for the Cooper family. Yet, under its warmth, there's a bittersweet undertone. Mandy's uncertainty about Georgie's maturity, the tension between the Coopers and Mandy's family, and the rushed nature of the event all speak to a relationship built on love but tested by reality. Even the title, First Marriage, feels telling. It signals not only that this might not be Georgie and Mandy's final wedding, but also that this union may not last. That hint alone reframes The Big Bang Theory's silence. Maybe Sheldon never mentioned Mandy because she and Georgie didn't stay together. Young Sheldon has never shied away from blending humor with foreshadowing. In earlier seasons, we've seen hints of George S.R.'s death, Missy's rebellious streak, and Sheldon's emotional distance. Episode 16 continues that tradition, giving us the joy of Georgie's big day while quietly setting up heartbreak. Mandy's character was never built for Sheldon's world. One of the most striking things about Mandy is how different she feels compared to anyone in Sheldon's future social circle. She's grounded, practical, sharp-tongued, and deeply protective of her family. She loves Georgie, but never romanticizes his flaws. In other words, she's everything The Big Bang Theory's version of Georgie isn't surrounded by. By the time we meet adult Georgie in TBBT, he's cynical and sarcastic, and his relationship with Sheldon is strained. Mandy's absence could explain why. Losing her, whether through divorce, separation, or emotional distance, would harden Georgie into the bitter man Sheldon eventually reconnects within the sibling realignment. Episode 16 lays the groundwork for this. Georgie's impulsive decision to marry Mandy before fully growing into adulthood suggests future struggles that might drive them apart. The episode even highlights this difference during the wedding preparations. Mandy's mother warns her that Georgie's optimism and lack of planning could become a problem. Mandy brushes it off with affection, but viewers can sense the foreshadowing. Georgie's charm and loyalty might not be enough to sustain their marriage long-term, especially once the stresses of work, money, and parenting pile up. A heartbreaking but logical future. Georgie and Mandy don't last. If young Sheldon's writers are aligning the show with the Big Bang Theory canon, then the most plausible explanation is simple and sad: Georgie and Mandy eventually separate. It's not that they stop caring for each other, but rather that their lives move in different directions. Georgie's business success, hinted at throughout TBBT, suggests that he throws himself into work, perhaps as a way to cope with loss or heartbreak. Episode 16's emotional core subtly prepares viewers for that future. The way Georgie insists on marrying Mandy quickly, despite lingering doubts, reflects his need to fix things rather than process them. Mandy, meanwhile, agrees out of love and a desire for stability, not necessarily readiness. Their union feels rushed, sweet, and slightly doomed, a reflection of how youthful love can burn brightly and then fade under pressure. This explains why Sheldon never mentioned Mandy in adulthood. It wasn't out of malice or indifference. He likely saw the pain it caused Georgie and avoided reopening old wounds. It also fits Sheldon's personality. He struggles to empathize with emotional nuance, so his silence may be his way of compartmentalizing Georgie's loss. The episode's wedding symbolism reveals the hidden theme. Every detail of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage seems infused with subtext. The rushed ceremony, the humble decorations, and even the comedic mishaps all serve a symbolic purpose. It's a wedding that feels more like a beginning of a struggle than a happy ending. The wedding rings, simple, unadorned, and purchased in haste, mirror the practicality of their relationship. Mandy's brief moment of doubt before saying, "I do," adds emotional depth to the scene. She's not naive about Georgie's flaws. It's love built on forgiveness, not fantasy. And in that realism lies the tragedy. Young Sheldon is telling us that even love built on genuine care can still fall apart. When Mary tearfully hugs her son, saying how proud she is of the man he's become, the audience feels the irony, because we know Georgie's road is still full of mistakes and heartache. Episode 16 is both a celebration and a goodbye to innocence, the last truly hopeful moment before adulthood and loss reshape the Cooper family forever. A missing Mandy makes The Big Bang Theory more poignant. Rewatching The Big Bang Theory with this new context changes how fans might see Georgie's adult self. His sarcasm, distance, and emotional wall suddenly make sense. The man Sheldon visits in Season 11 isn't just a grumpy businessman. He's someone who's lived through a lifetime of disappointment. If Mandy and Georgie's marriage eventually fell apart, that loss would have rippled through the family. It could have fractured Georgie's relationship with his siblings or reinforced Sheldon's belief that emotions and relationships are unreliable. In that light, young Sheldon doesn't contradict The Big Bang Theory, it enriches it. Even Mandy's absence from Sheldon's wedding in TBBT feels more meaningful now. It's not an oversight. It's consistent with the idea that she and Georgie were no longer together, or that too much had changed for her to remain close to the family. Thematic parallels. Georgie becomes his father. Another layer of meaning in episode 16 lies in how Georgie mirrors his own father. George Sr. was a man who tried to hold his family together despite making impulsive, often emotional choices. He loved Mary deeply but made mistakes that eventually strained their marriage. Georgie, in many ways, walks the same path. His decision to marry Mandy before it's too late echoes George SR's pattern of trying to fix problems with big gestures instead of communication. Just like his father, Georgie's heart is in the right place, but his timing isn't. Episode 16 quietly turns their wedding into a generational echo, showing how patterns of love and loss repeat through the Cooper family. This parallel deepens the emotional truth.